What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. A video where hopefully everyone in this community watches because, there's going to be some things said here that I don't think people want to hear, but they need to understand the reality of things. And I wish a lot of us would use our real names because it's hard to talk about somebody named the actual CC. But I'm glad we have some common ground. I'm glad we both want the game better. Hopefully W will be on. I'd love to have this guy on my channel. Talk about the bridge in our community that's kind of been broken between competitive players and sim players. But when you talk to me about my platform and encouraging change from a positive mindset, when you talk to me about feeling attacked from others simply because you want to play MUT and that MUT isn't the problem, I think a lot of this comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of how people perceive you. And I know that's not an easy conversation to have, but we're going to go ahead and have it. And I know that you're cognizant of it because I've seen some of the content that you guys create. So I didn't put this logo on there. But it tells me that you guys are at least aware. Okay, you understand that this video was from July 11th. And I think we all understand what happened on July 20th. So a lot of us, as a man, as an adult, question some of the decision-making going on with the competitive Madden players. Now, unfortunately, we'll move forward to July 31st, and I think we all understand where we are now. And as a man, as an adult, I hope every one of you have nothing but the best in health and can move past this, but it's hard for us to understand your perspective and trust your judgment when you're making decisions like this over a video game. So to move forward with that, again, there are some things we can agree on. We want change, the best Madden possible. But listen, if you feel like that was a personal attack or me belittling you or me criticizing you and not being welcoming, I don't know what to tell you. That's me sharing my perception of what you're doing with you. When you talk about the franchise team doing an inadequate job, I'm right on board. When you talk to me about everything in life is about time or money, I agree. But we have to be more cognizantly aware of what happens. 100% exploits exist in this game. 90% of the game is computer controlled. But the cool part is just don't play it, okay? If you don't like it, just don't play it. Well, you know what? How about you guys be a little bit more self-aware of your audience? Going back to that video that I just showed you. When you have somebody on your channel that says, I'm 14, and if I grind an insane amount of games, how good can I be by the end of the year? What is your responsibility as a creator to respond with? If you have somebody that comes to your channel and says, I'm 16, and I want to get into wagering games, but I can't do that as a minor, what is your responsibility as a creator to respond to with this? These are all from W's video, by the way. Moving forward, you have somebody else tell you, hey, I'm not old enough for Madden tournaments, but what should I do to prepare? At some point, you have to be mindful of your audience. And a lot of us feel that you know all too well that you're selling these packs and ebooks to children. But I want to talk about how you take care of your own, okay? This is one of the more competitive Madden gamers. This guy should have tons more views, subscribers than I do. Madden Competitive should be the top tier of YouTube channels. Now, this gentleman won the Last Chance Qualifier last year. EA sent him $20,000 worth of equipment to set up in his home. True story. He had to kick his brother out of his shared bedroom to do this so that he could play the Madden Challenge. And then he had to send all this equipment back. Okay, $20,000 isn't a loss for EA Sports. In the middle of a pandemic, they're sending him equipment to return. And no one from that community stood up and said, hey, listen, why don't you let him keep the equipment, guys? So when you talk to me about wanting better, when you talk to me about a positive mindset, okay, I don't look at your tweet, okay? I look at what you have done for your community and what you actually do to create your content. No one is belittling you. No one is talking down to you. No one is simply attacking you because you play Ultimate Team. A lot of people are looking at what's actually happening in that space and questioning the age, the maturity, and the intent of the creators. Okay, if you can't see that, then hopefully this video can help you understand that. Because that's been the overwhelming perception I've had of Madden Ultimate Team the past 5 years. Now, let's talk about not only how you guys have built this game, but what you've allowed. Okay, because this is the end. This is the end. This is the culmination of not giving feedback, trying to be overwhelmingly positive, concerned about your relationship with EA. When you have a Madden Bowl where Drini's controller dies, and because the game is so computer controlled that he has a player that still tackles Mills and ultimately wins the game, it is your responsibility, in my opinion, as a creator to say, this has to be fixed, EA. When you go on and you have a championship game where you see a player substituting in a punter, it is your responsibility as a content creator, as a man, to go to EA and say, listen, we need to change this. I actually have a channel that is based on Madden Ultimate Team, that is dependent on being successful so that I can actually have a living, and you are putting out such a poor quality product, I'm concerned that I'm going to be able to do that. So if you don't have those conversations, guess where we end up? We end up here, where the game is literally made into a joke. And that's not anyone being harsh with you or being negative with you. That's the perception of the public. The public perception is this game is marketed towards children, that you are selling ebooks to, that you are promoting to buy $100 bundles, and when you see the game played online, you have people that aren't even in control of players completing plays and putting in punters to give them the best opportunity to win in a championship game. And the only response you have to me is, well, if you don't like it, don't play it. Well, you know, if you guys had been a little bit more creative or constructive with the feedback you provided EA, maybe we collectively wouldn't be here where we're all asking for the game to get better. But that's not us judging you guys. Okay? That's not us talking down to you or belittling you. And I'm sorry if this comes off as less than welcoming, but to be fair, a lot of us are very frustrated with the state of this game and why it's gotten here. And many people look at the competitive gamers as accepting way too many problems in the game to get them there. What you could have been doing, what you should have been doing, in my opinion, is going to EA and saying, listen, we're the best Madden players in the world. Okay, we're looking at other competitive gaming communities that are making 10, 15, 20 times what we make, that don't need YouTube channels as supplemental income. And unless you give us a better product, unless we have a better game to play, guess what? We're not going to do it anymore. We're going to go back to regs. We're not going to promote your Ultimate Team. Because unless you have a better product to support us, we're not going to support you. So you have to go to the NFL Network tomorrow and explain to them there's no one to play these games. So they're just going to have to show a repeat of last year's Madden Bowl because we're not satisfied with the state of this game and we've continually asked you to improve it and you haven't. But no one in the Madden community from the competitive side I've ever seen has stepped up to do that. Instead, you sit there and you guys play these games for literally what amounts to peanuts. And that's not me taking a shot at how much you're making, okay? If you are making $100,000 to win a tournament and you've got EA openly sending $20,000 worth of equipment to a player, there's a real big disconnect there. But you want to talk to me about money and being an adult, when half of you guys are literally sitting here promoting these kids to buy your ebook and spend extra money on MUT packs when they're not even giving you a fraction of what they make. But it's all about being negative. It's all about belittling you. It's all about talking down to you. Some of you guys just seem that disconnected from reality. Do you not understand? You have to understand, right? You have to understand because you just showed a picture of the two of you in a pool, together, Madden buddies. I just don't get it, guys. I as an adult, I don't understand it. And guess what? You're never going to make me understand it. We're going to discuss it. We're going to converse about it. But there's two way different mindsets here. I see it as a group of people that are willing to accept a horrible game for the ability to promote themselves and have a mildly successful channel and the hope of making money as a competitive Madden player, versus people that are willing to set all that aside and understand there is no skill to this game. It's 90% computer controlled, and I'm not going to sit here and promote myself to children in hopes that they'll buy my ebook so that I can make a little extra money And if I'm good enough, maybe I'll be able to get by as a competitive Madden player while I watch my peers in competitive gaming make 10, 15, 20,000 times what I'm making. Because keep in mind, not every Madden tournament has that $100,000 paycheck at the end. That's why a majority of competitive Madden players don't own a car, much less a home. And again, that's not me belittling you. That's me being honest. That's me telling you I know for a fact that parents were driving competitive Madden players to the actual tournaments. You know, back where I came from, our Madden tournaments weren't set up on Ultimate Team. You know what they were set up on? A memory card. You drove to somebody's house, you sat there and played against them, you looked at the way they built their team, they taught you things, you taught them things, you moved on. Nobody was buying a worthless ebook that is going to be done when Madden patches the game because the exploits are fixed. But that's what you don't want the community to know. That's the actual. Get it? Now you can take that one as a slight. That's the actual. The actual is you guys make ebooks off a broken game that you get in advance, and when Madden patches it, you've sold something that's worthless. You promote each other to sell each other's ebooks, to buy each other's ebooks to a gamer that has no concept of how football works. The only thing he can do is sit there and try to game plan one YouTuber versus one play to the other play, and that's why none of you actually have the credibility in the community that you constantly beg and ask for. That's why none of you have the views in the community that you should based on other marketplaces. Go look at Fortnite views and ask yourself why we're not getting those. You know why? Because the game is awful. And we all want it to be better, but we've all taken very different ways to get there. And some of us aren't willing to do the same things for a small monetary gain, in my opinion, to do so. I don't care about EA Sports or any one of the people in that building. I care about a better football game. I don't care about selling an ebook. I don't care about selling a pack. In fact, I'll openly tell you, don't buy Madden Ultimate Team products and don't go buy ebooks from people. They're not going to make you a better player. They're not going to make you a better gamer. They're just going to line somebody's pocket. Love to know what you guys think about this. Appreciate you checking it out. You know I will be back because I'm positive in the 12 minutes I recorded this video, I've got another Madden competitive gamer that went to my channel or went to my Twitter and wants more smoke, and I'll gladly provide it to him in the week with more commentary.